Hey guys, Yordleman the Waifu Collector here, still the only fair human on Earth, and it's time to talk about Pokemon Legends ZA. You know what Pokemon is, you know how it works, you know what it's all about, so no need to explain any of that. But Pokemon ZA is out, and I'm a big Pokemon fan. I've been playing Pokemon my whole life, started on Blue version and played every generation and a whole bunch of spin-off games until we arrive here with Legends ZA. So anything I say is not without perspective of the franchise, and in a future video or videos I do want to discuss the actual gameplay of the game more in depth, and maybe other aspects as well, like the debate of the game's difficulty. But for this video I specifically want to chat about the graphics controversy. I'm sure you've seen some of it online, some of it being regurgitated takes from Scarlet and Violet, and some of it unique to ZA. But if you scroll long enough down a Poke-centric feed, you'll have seen graphical complaints, I'm sure. And before I really start getting into what's new with the game and how it lands or whatever, let's just get the graphics talk out of the way. And I don't want you to be confused or held in suspense or whatever, so I'll just say, all in all, I think ZA is a great game. I'll talk more specifically about it in a different video probably, but I'm just telling you now that I think it's a great game, so you don't confuse what I think of its graphics and what have you as what I think of the game in general. Alright, so Pokemon ZA's production value is shit. It's absolute shite, but you knew that. We all knew that. It's Pokemon. This is Pokemon, unfortunately. The production value is in the garbage, and Game Freak does not care because they don't have to care. The games sell all the same. So yes, the vast majority of textures are flat and bland. Yes, the graphics look like every AA budgeted anime game from 2017. And yes, there's still no voice acting. So make no mistake, the production value is shit, but you knew that already. And if you bought the game only to complain about that, that's on you. Because I didn't have to play this game to know that they didn't amp up the presentation quality. And I get it, it is sorta unacceptable. It is absolutely ridiculous when you consider the long-standing success of Pokemon. And that's fair to say, but if the only thing you bought the game for is to bellyache about something we all already knew, then take some responsibility for your hand in this, because you're paying for the game anyway. So if it really is a deal breaker, and I'm not saying it can't be, but if it is for you, then stand on your fucking square and don't buy the game. And listen, I do wish the production value was better. Do I feel strongly that it should be better? 100%. But it's not a deal breaker for me personally yet, especially when I see the gameplay starting to progress finally. And yeah, I'll talk about the truth of the matter when it comes to the shit production, but I'll talk about the actual gameplay as well, whether that be good, bad, or meh. But trust me, I get it. It is ridiculous. Pokemon makes billions upon billions of dollars every fucking year. We're talking about one of, if not the most profitable entertainment franchise ever throughout history, in an era where other anime stylized games with far less money to play around with have produced insanely better looking games with voice acting. We're talking about games that would have to beg for a fraction of the budget a Pokemon game could get at the drop of a hat. Like, you have to laugh at this shit, and then ZA will just have like uniquely animated cutscenes with some degree of lip sync, if you could even call it that, but there's no voice acting. It's weird and borderline insulting. So I get it. I promise you, I understand how unacceptable this feels. What I'm saying though is that I knew that already. That was true before the game ever came out, before I ever paid for it. And everybody knew that already. No new information has been revealed. So it just feels weird to let that be the thing that dominates the entire conversation of ZA when it's not even new. It's not even a revelation. I mean, we got a whole new gameplay system, and whether you think it's good or not, it's interesting. Since the release of Pokemon Legends Arceus in 2021, the gameplay of Pokemon has been moving in ways we we'd previously only dreamt of. And I get that it's not moving as quickly as it probably should be or as quickly as a lot of us hoped, but it is moving. And maybe we're gearing up to a point where with Gen 10 or the next Legends game, we do actually get voice acting. Much later than was timely, but better late than never. I guess what I'm saying is I haven't fully lost hope because it seems clear that Pokemon has not fully stagnated, even if its production quality aspect seems to have stagnated. And I think part of what keeps them from higher quality visuals and voice acting, aside from their own complacency and laziness, because we just have to call that like it is, but another aspect I think is that they've likely been operating beneath a certain fairly low budget consistently. And with the enormous unit sales they make, operating at such a low budget probably yields insane profit margins. And if you know the first thing about business, it's that you always want to make the number go up. Artistic integrity be damned, game quality be damned. They also pretty consistently get a game out every couple of years or so, or like every year if you count spin-offs. So if the quality gets upped, then maybe you have to put more money into it, and that can potentially hurt the profits if the higher quality product doesn't attract more people. Or maybe it doesn't cost more, but it takes longer. Where we'd usually have 2 games, we only have 1. Is that one higher quality game gonna make the money 2 games would have made? It's a gamble, even if it's not a huge one. Well, maybe we can just hire more people to make production go faster. Well, hiring more people means paying more people, which eats into profit. Just like voice acting means paying voice actors, and not just for one language, because this is a global franchise. And that's just if we did any of that for one game, when the reality is that it's a Pandora's box. And once the graphics are upped, or once the characters have voices, that becomes what everyone expects from that point on, and you can't go back. So they're scared to get locked into spending more money on something that doesn't result in more profit. So when we ask ourselves, why won't they add better graphics or voice acting? Everything I just said was the long way of saying money. As much as I hate it, the answer is always money. So I don't know. There you have it. That's my take and my current stance on Pokemon graphics and overall production value. As you can tell, I feel like I may understand why it's like this, but that doesn't mean I condone it or that I don't wish it was different. At the end of the day, if the low production quality is a deal breaker for you, I have news for you. Buying the game and then complaining is never going to work with a franchise this size. You have to vote with your wallet. Lack of profits on the back of the reasons for your complaints is going to be the only thing that makes them say, maybe we should change something about how we do this. And I understand feeling fleeced or tricked with other games or franchises because you might not have known the quality was low until you bought it, but Pokemon isn't that. They aren't tricking you. This is what it is. This is how it's been, and they didn't try to hide it. You knew, I knew, we all knew. So just vote with your wallet. I thought about it beforehand months and months and months ago, and it simply wasn't a deal breaker for me at this time. So I voted with my wallet, and they have my $70. Does that mean the graphics are good and the lack of voice acting is completely acceptable? Not at all. But 2 things can be true at once. The production value can be horrendous, and I cannot care. Or at least not enough to withhold my money. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did and consider subscribing for more good gaming talk. And tell me what you think of any of this down in the comments. Did you decide to not buy ZA for this or any other reason? Do you kind of feel how I feel about it? Or maybe you think the graphics are really good somehow. You are entitled to that opinion. But yeah, thanks for watching, and even if you forget everything I said in this video, just remember that I am Yordleman, the waifu collector. I am just a normal guy. I like hentai, and I have never convinced anyone of anything ever. Goodbye.